Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Living Room's Wednesday pop-up Art Hive live stream. So good to have you here in our virtual Art Hive. It's been an interesting week so far, hasn't it been? Hello, Janet. How are you? Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is an hour and a half of art making and sharing time, community connection, and chat, whatever feels right for you. My name's Mary Cronert, and I'm here on behalf of the Living Room Community Art Studio. Hello, Laura. So great to see you here. It's always wonderful to gather and connect with folks this way. I know it might feel strange for folks out there who are used to connecting in person, but during these strange and uncertain times, it's good to know everyone's doing okay. During these strange and uncertain times, connecting virtually gives us an opportunity to just still maintain those wonderful relationships we created in the community, expand what we're doing, and meet new friends from other communities all over the world. And we can still make art with one another. Now, I'm going to be making art in here at my home studio. You can make art with me along with me at home if you like. You can work on what I'm working on. You can do something completely different. Whatever you like, whatever feels right for you today. You can also just feel free to enjoy and appreciate the creative atmosphere, listen to us, have us on in the background, maybe while you're doing other things you need to do, studying, washing dishes, folding laundry, doing your taxes, whatever, again, you need to do for you. Everyone who's joining us here, whether you're participating in the chat or just listening or watching from home, whether you realize it or not, you are contributing to the creative energy that is this virtual art hive. So thank you so much. And hello, Wendy. How are you doing today? It's always good to hear from folks. Today, we actually had a special request for the creative activity we have. We are hosting a kind of clay day. We are playing with clay. And some folks may have noticed a couple of days ago on the main Facebook page of the Living Room Community Art Studio, we posted a recipe that you could try at home if you didn't have any kind of clay. It's one of my favorite kind of homemade dough clay recipes. It's a baking soda clay that turns out really, really nice, has almost ceramic quality to it. Oh, thank you, Laura. Laura congratulating us on our exciting news. I'll talk a little bit about that later on, I'm sure. It's an exciting time, an interesting, exciting, strange time. I suppose all of us can relate to that in our own ways. And of course, today's Clay Day, I feel like this is a lovely little shout out, is brought to you by Shelley. Shelley, if you're out there watching, happy birthday. And we're so glad that you're a part of our community, as we're so glad that everyone else is as well. We are going to be playing with clay today. You can play with plasticine rather. You maybe have some paper mache, some paper clay dough. There's also bread dough, a kind of interesting bread glue combination that you can make, which has the same effect once it air dries, or you can even bake it in your oven a little bit to speed up that drying process. This is excellent. Hello, Teresa. Uh, there's a lot going on. Hopefully, we can get our hands messy, get into some, really good kneading activity with this clay, and get out some of the, I don't know. Sometimes it's good to get physical with art. And with clay, you can do that in a way you can't always do that when you're doing a more traditional kind of fine arts visual approach, like painting or things like that. Clay lets you just work it all out with your hands. And today I need a little bit of that too. So, thank you. Everyone's congratulating us. Thank you so much for congratulating us. Yes, the other big news, of course, that we've just recently shared with the community is that, well, the living room, we are honored. We are all the things, thrilled, lucky, privileged, grateful to have been awarded a Resilient Communities grant from the Ontario Trillium Foundation. That's one of the reasons why you see an increase in the virtual programming we're doing. It's because of that. And it's also enabling us to get out there and create a mobile art studio. This is the most exciting news for us. It's something, an idea we've had going on in the back of our brains for a long, long time, just stirring it around in the brain stew that's there in my head. And when we had to make the decision to close the storefront studio space, this seemed like the next best and almost natural step, especially during times where we can't gather to create with one another in the same ways we were used to. This will enable us to get out there and connect with community members in ways that are safe and manageable, provide that kind of in-person hello support. When things are more restrictive, it'll be a little bit more, just hello, have a workshop kit, how you doing? When we have more freedom to stay together, perhaps outdoors in a park, let's say, we can spread out, we can have workshops, we can reflect the physical in-person workshops we're doing with virtual programming as well. It gives us all sorts of, just a lot of exciting leeway, a lot of potential that's there that we can play with. We're super excited. Can you tell? Hello, Crystal. Nice to see you there. And Nicole, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, wherever you may be, whoever you may be. And just a note on that, if you are watching, if you're new to the live stream, or perhaps you've been considering taking part in one way or another, but you don't quite know how, as I said in the beginning, you can just watch and listen if you like. You don't need to participate in the chat if you don't feel comfortable doing so. Or perhaps you're having one of those days where you just feel like, I don't know, blanket nesting a little bit and taking care of yourself and not being too visible. That's okay. Listen, watch for a little bit, for a long while, whatever feels right to you. If you're feeling up to it and you want to participate in the chat, please do. That's the only way I can see you and know you're watching if you do participate in the chat. And that way I can say hello, our placement students can say hello, some of our volunteers who are out there can say hello and welcome you. But otherwise, we'll let you be you and do what you're doing wherever you might be. All right, shall we get into the making here? Yeah, why not? There we are. So, I've got this big lump of air dry clay that's been hanging around for a little while. I know, and Crystal saying the happy birthday, Shelly, another shout out. The reason we have Clay Day today is because of Shelly, so happy birthday and thank you for the suggestion. On that note too, if there's other folks out there who are celebrating birthdays or having special days of their own, we send out all those warm, fuzzy feelings to you too. We appreciate you being out there and being a part of our community. Let's see. Okay. It's strange celebrating during these strange times. There's so many different things that people, we can still celebrate. We're still allowed. We're still allowed to enjoy our special days and the special times we have with one another, whatever they might be. We just can't necessarily do it in the same way we used to before. So there's a theme for today. There's a question I can put out to everyone. How do you celebrate when you can't necessarily celebrate in the ways you're used to? How have you been celebrating or honoring those special moments, those special days in your life during these times? I think it's a very human thing. This desire to, to gather, to celebrate, to have the people we love and care about around us to celebrate those things. What happens when we can't? And how do you honor those moments and those events for yourself? Do you have special rituals? Do you have special people you like to Zoom with? Do you give yourself special, those, it's like, I was going to say get out of jail free cards, but that's not at all what I mean. Like special little, to give yourself permission to do certain things or be in certain ways on those days that are special to you. Let me know. And Nicole saying hello and happy birthday to Shelly too. And of course, thank you, Nicole, for updating us about what kind of day it is. Because of course, Nicole has a calendar that celebrates or lets her know about all the special days that are going out there in the world. And apparently today, happy National Umbrella Day, everyone. Happy National Umbrella Day. I didn't know that umbrellas had their very own day. I mean, umbrellas are important. I think we can all agree on that. But they get their own day. That's fascinating. They get their own day. Yeah, good for you, umbrella. Good for you. And of course, to all umbrella appreciators everywhere. Now, on top of that question about how you celebrate or mark special moments in your life, what kind of creative rituals you have in place to help you do so, Please feel free to share in the comment section. I'd of course love to know what folks are working on at home. What are you making? What are you creating? How are you doing with your various projects? If you feel like sharing, let us know in the comments. And let's see if there's any common ground between what folks are working on today. Let's see. I have this air dry clay. It's a sculpey clay. It's great. It dries really well. But I'm actually, I know it's fine. It's nice. It gives you a nice plain canvas to work on, but I do want to color it up a little bit. So I'm going to experiment by adding in some ink to the wet clay to see how it colors. Never done this before. Don't know if it's advisable. But let's give it a try. Let's give it a try and see. So I'm going to start with small batches first. Hello, Danielle. Welcome. So Danielle is here. Danielle's one of our placement students. So if you have any questions for Danielle, let her know. Her activity, community activity, will be launching tomorrow. So tomorrow, for folks who are watching the live stream or perhaps watching it once the live stream is done, that's Thursday, February the 11th. And it's a character comfort check exercise. Does anyone else out there know what a comfort character is? I've only just learned about it through Danielle. And it's fascinating, and I can't wait to participate. So that event will be launching tomorrow at 11 a.m. Feel free to tune into our main Facebook page. It's just a chat activity, so you don't have to even change out of your pajamas to do it. You can just open up your laptop or your smartphone or what have you and participate by sharing characters that are meaningful to you from various things like books, movies, video games, characters that bring you comfort in a specific way. And I know Danielle's going to share the theme, what that specific way is, tomorrow at 11 a.m. So tune in on our Facebook page to see what it is. And let's see. And I think Danielle's also. Oh no! It's Nicole pointing out that it's not only is it National Umbrella Day, but it's also National Open an Umbrella Inside Day. So again, that's a. I must admit, I'm really curious about how these days are decided. There's a lot of things I'd like to celebrate. Oh, and Michelle's here too. Hello, Michelle. Michelle's saying happy birthday to Shelley as well. And Nicole saying 2 years ago, I had a big birthday party and had a contest to see who could find the funniest card. Haha, I think I might remember this day. I think that could be an interesting way to celebrate during these strange times. I think so too. I think even if you can't mail a card or deliver a card directly, what about virtual cards? What about taking a picture of a card you make and sharing it with someone that you love? And of course, laughter. That's the best gift we can give each other, isn't it? All right, so I've got some marbly purple dough there. And Laura is working on paper mache today. It's been over 2 years. About time I tried these ideas. Oh, fantastic. So looking forward to see what you're making with paper mache. What do you think you'll be doing? And Marta, hello Marta. Marta's apologizing for being late, but hey, it's a live stream. You can drop in anytime you like. It's just like the studio. You can open the door and come on in. Marta is also one of our fabulous students who hosted their first activity on Facebook this past Monday, an artist card daily rituals for the creative soul activity. And it was quite beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to look at it or contribute to it, I highly recommend going back in the Facebook page, so this past Monday, and having a look at it and considering it. There's such a great question. The invitation to consider when you, and Marta, correct me if I'm wrong here, the moment where you remember accepting yourself or realizing yourself as an artist, or the role that being an artist could play in your life. And I'm generalizing here. The actual question that Marta posted was so much more elegant than that. But a really interesting and important question to consider. And Michelle, yes, my hands will stain. That's what's going to happen here today. And you know what? I'm going to let it happen. It's like working with bingo dabbers. At the end of the day, I walk away with purple, blue, green hands. My hands become an artwork as well. And Michelle, who's here, some of you folks might recognize from the Friday morning coffee catch up groups that we have over in that group page. Michelle is hosting an event tonight at 7 p.m. It's a Zoom workshop. Um, it's Craft and Chat with Michelle. So today, I think, Michelle, what the theme's going to be love, appreciation, all things in that vein. Inspired, I think, by a certain day that's coming up. But don't worry, it's not about all that kind of lovey dovey stuff. It's about love, appreciation of self, the kind of care and support we give ourselves and those folks we care most about in life, which is so much bigger than that idea of romantic love, I think. And she's going to be doing crafts. It's an all ages night, so kids are welcome too. Just a really fun, gentle time to hang out with folks for an hour, make some art with whatever supplies you happen to have on hand, and connect with one another over craftiness. And Dawn King saying hello from Aurelia. Whoa, Dawn, it's so good to see you. Welcome. Aurelia, huh? Wow. You're close to Bass Lake Farms out there, where Em is working, I think. And Dawn is just strumming in the background, having a great day. Well, thank you. He's wishing everyone to have a great day as well. Strumming on your guitar. Oh, I miss your music, Dawn. We're going to have to figure out maybe an artist chat with you too, so you can play us some music. It's out there. I've said it out loud. I've been meaning to send you a message, and it's out there now. Let me know what you think. Send me a message later on, and let me know if you're up to it. Would love to hear your music again. And Austin. Yes, Austin. Hello, Austin. Austin, on Nicole's comment of International Open an Umbrella Inside Day, isn't it bad luck to open umbrellas indoor? I think there's a certain, I think there is that perception. Don't know why exactly. It would be interesting to know what the history of that was. I know I don't, as a practice, open umbrellas inside very often. Luck is a very interesting thing to consider as well, isn't it? What luck is, and how we make luck for ourselves. I think luck often has to do with working enough to find ourselves in the right situations at the right time to be able to take advantage of those wonderful opportunities when they come up. A little more work than we realize. But sometimes stuff just happens. The good, the bad, the in-between. Everybody has their own relationship with luck. Good to have you here, Austin. And Nicole saying, egg dyeing always leaves me with different colored fingers. Yep. Interesting. And Nicole following up on the Open Umbrella Inside Day. Oh, it's a different day, so it's not today. And Nicole has no idea why that day exists. Yeah, who knows? We'll find out. Elliot, hello. How are you? Oh, excellent. That's awesome. Elliot says, my favorite part of art is getting messy. I have to agree. I think getting messy, my least favorite part, cleaning up, but it's an important part, and it always feels good after I do it. But a very important part. I think in lifetime, there's not a lot of places where we can be messy without, big consequences. Art, luckily, it's one of those areas where we can get messy, and at the end of the day, it's kind of okay. And sometimes the mess we create can become something extraordinary. I think if you're ever feeling stuck, this is something I like to try. Just to trick my inner critic and get back to making in a more positive way. If I'm ever feeling stuck or worried about doing something wrong or feeling, I don't know, you have those days where you just can't, you don't feel like you have any creativity in the tank. There's always something there. And I think we refill that creativity sometimes by just getting our hands messy, getting stuck in with something. And I think one of my favorite ways to work around that stuckness is getting messy, making a mess. If you're ever worried about it, just pretend you're a kid or just try and make some ugly art on purpose. Any works in any kind of creative modality: music, creative writing, painting, collaging. Haven't yet tried it in baking, but I'm open to the possibility. Gardening, why not? Let yourself make a mess. Make a mess with intention. Commit to it and see what happens. For me, anyway, speaking from my own experience, it inevitably takes me somewhere really interesting. And if I don't like what's been created, oftentimes it kind of opens up a new doorway, a new window into what's possible. I think it might be time to wipe down this mat. And Nicole saying Nicole played with clay on the weekend. Hello, Amanda. Welcome, welcome, Amanda. And Laura saying, yes, about what Laura's been working on with paper mache, making little shadow boxes, then adding something that you haven't figured out yet. Love it. About to get goopy too, so I'm here, but even quieter than usual. That's okay. Sometimes I get it. If you're making art at home, especially if you're doing something that is a little messy, you may not be able to participate in the chat as much as you sometimes do. That's okay. Make a mess. Have some fun. And Danielle is saying, excellent. So going back to umbrellas, a theater trick for opening umbrellas inside and countering the bad luck. So this is for Austin, it seems like, and answering that question about bad luck, is pointing the umbrella at the ground when you open it. That way you aren't standing directly under it when it's being opened. Fascinating. The theater, for those folks who've been involved in theater, that's a world full of superstition and strange beliefs. We are interesting creatures as human beings. I think it has something to do with that element of ritual that we were touching upon at the beginning with special occasions in our lives. Having systems in place to help us keep track of things, but also keep track of how we, just little check boxes in our mind to know that we've done what we can to manage to work with things. There's so many areas in our life where we maybe don't have as much control as we'd like to. Some areas where, we don't have any control at all. Anything that we can do that helps us feel more comfortable, more secure in managing those things, that's healthy and doesn't hold us back. That can be something that helps us feel like we're managing things, at least, for ourselves, to give us that confidence to move from one thing to another, to go forward. And rituals, or even like rituals in countering bad luck, that can be a fun thing, as long as it doesn't prevent you from moving forward and doing your thing in the way that you want to do it. But that's interesting. So the unlucky umbrella opening has something to do with it being above you. Fascinating. And Donald King back again saying, I'm at my nephew's studio taking some advice, lol, putting artist self-doubts aside. Excellent. Oh, Don, congratulations. I am so happy to hear that. So it sounds like you're making music and maybe recording some music. Brilliant. I know there's so many people here who've been waiting for that for a long time. For those of you who may not know, Don, often referred to around here in Oshawa as Guitar Man, Oshawa Guitar Man Don. I was someone who brought music to the studio. Almost every day we were open. And on days where the studio wasn't open, you can often find Don walking, playing music in the city, playing music in the park for folks. An extraordinarily gifted and talented artist with so much to give, so many stories to tell through his music. It's a thrill to hear that you're moving forward and perhaps, documenting some of the wonderful things you create. Yeah, anyone who's heard Don's music before, you know what I'm talking about. So happy to hear you're recording. And thanks to your nephew for finally getting you out there to do it. Good on him. Amanda saying, missing our talks. Oh, Amanda. I hear you. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult when we don't always have that one-on-one time that we used to when we were out in the community. I wonder if anyone else is feeling that way. I know it's not the same, but it means a lot you're reaching out and connecting here. And I do encourage everyone, if you're missing some of that one-on-one feeling, we have introduced, as I was saying before, some Zoom workshops, which gives you a chance to see people and to hear people and talk to people. It's a little, not exactly the same thing, but much closer to what it was like to be in the studio with one another. And every Tuesday evening, there are wellness workshops, sort of creative wellness with Caitlin and Kat V, coordinators who used to work at the Living Room. So if you know Kat V and Caitlin, they are hosting groups every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Just have to sign up to the Facebook event to let them know so they can prepare for how many people will be there. And then we share the Zoom link about an hour before the workshop begins. So there's an opportunity. And things like tonight with Michelle at 7 p.m., the Craft and Chat, where you can just create with another human being and talk to them and learn about, how we're all doing, but in a different way. Hey, Shelley, everybody, Shelley has arrived. Happy birthday, Shelley. Welcome. Again, today is Clay Day in honor of Shelley's birthday. In honor of everyone out there who might be celebrating something. I feel like in these difficult, strange times, it's easy to overlook those moments. There's so many things to celebrate, even though these times are strange and difficult and uncertain. So another question I'll ask, I'll put it out there again. How do folks celebrate? What are the special things you do to mark those occasions in your life that are worthy of celebrating and honoring? I think it's a huge part of being human. We need to do that. It feels good to do that. It's healthy to do that. And it also helps give us memories. So if any of you have been experiencing what I've been experiencing during the pandemic, which is kind of that time just flowing by quite swiftly without, just flying by without any markers. Oftentimes that has to do with the memories we're making for ourselves because we're not getting out there in the same way that we used to. So we need to create memories for ourselves and little rituals and celebrations, things to honor different things in our lives that we appreciate, that we adore, that we're happy about. Doesn't need to take a whole lot. Doesn't need to take a whole lot. Oh, and I see the birthday wishes coming in for Shelley there. Shelley, what have you been doing today to celebrate your birthday? All right. What do I want to make? You know what? I am going to start. I think I'm going to make some aromatherapy pendants. Just some simple slab clay like sort of pottery techniques. And once they're dry, they can be infused with essential oils. Something simple to warm up. And Barb saying hello and happy birthday to Shelley. Oh, Barb. Barb saying 34 years married on Valentine's Day. And a walk at the lake today to celebrate early. How beautiful. Congratulations, Barb. Congratulations to you and Joe. How lovely is that? See, so many things to celebrate. Times may be strange and they may feel stressful. But that doesn't stop us, does it? Doesn't stop us from making meaning and moving forward with our lives. Now, I had a rolling pin somewhere. Where did it go? Oh, Mary. Did I forget the rolling pin somewhere? I guess I'm going to have to improvise, folks. I'm only working on something small, so this glue container should do the trick today. And Teresa says, oh, lovely. It makes me happy. It reminds me of my family back home. It was the second biggest get-together. Whoa. Lovely. So Teresa, what is that's oh, Super Bowl. I missed that comment above. Of course. So funny. This weekend I forgot that the Super Bowl happened. I don't know if folks can tell, but I'm not the biggest, sportiest person in the world. I understand its importance. Don't get me wrong. Very human thing again. Uh, just not a very big part of my life, but I do appreciate the ritual, and that's what Teresa's recognizing as well. It's funny where our rituals come from and celebrating just because we can. We don't need permission. Finding those moments, those occasions. And Super Bowl, for a lot of folks, is one of those things. So I imagine you watched it and enjoyed it, hopefully connected with family. That's lovely. Yeah. And it's sometimes it can be beautiful to recognize that you're all doing something together, even though you may be apart. Appreciating the same thing in the same moment. Lovely. Ah, so things that make it looks like. And this maybe is in response. So Shelley, correct me if I'm wrong. Are these things you're doing to celebrate your birthday, to honor this experience in your life, donating things that make you happy, donating things to other people, playing with crystals, puppies? Puppies always making people happy. And again, likewise, Shelley wishing Barb congratulations on her anniversary. How lovely is that? There's things to celebrate, folks. Always something to celebrate. My improvised rolling pin here. So I'm hoping by coloring this clay just a little bit, let's see, it'll give it a bit of a boost, a bit of a head start on the painting that I'll do for it later. I'm going to start just by making some really tiny circular pendants. So getting some shapes together here. And Teresa saying, every day when I walk Lola and see the cloud formations and colors in the lake, it's a new painting every day. So that's something to celebrate, isn't it? Absolutely. And for folks who may not know, Lola is Teresa's wonderful dog. A beautiful Doberman Pinscher, yes? So beautiful. I've seen paintings and I've seen some old photos, but I haven't, I don't know. Lola must be all big now. Bigger than she was before. And that is what makes Teresa happy. One of the things that makes Teresa happy. Those moments of happiness are more now than ever, I think. They're so important. We can't, it's almost like what's happening now has reminded me anyways, that I cannot take them for granted. And if they're not happening spontaneously like they used to, which is probably why I took it for granted before in the past, it's become part of my daily job now to make those moments happen for myself, give myself opportunities to stumble into those moments of happiness or to create them. So going for a walk for me too is one of the things that helps do that. Every time, especially now where we're at in Oshawa, the creek that runs by, like through the botanical gardens, it's really quite beautiful, and the ice is on top, but it's melting, so there's these new rivers within the river. There's new sounds as the ice melts. It's really quite beautiful, and a nice reminder of just the beauty of our world and how good it can feel to be here and be a part of this world. I will not take that for granted. And Barb Hen saying thank you for the anniversary wishes. I like to say oh, this is good. Barb with another excellent, Barb takes the day again. Self-abrating, not celebrating. That's awesome. Self-abrating. That's brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Brilliant. And especially with the Valentine's Day thingy coming up too. I think with the workshop that Michelle is hosting tonight at 7, that's one of the themes as well. It's not so much about kind of the consumerist idea of what it means to appreciate or love, or even the idea of self-love. It's not, it's something a little deeper, something simpler, but also more profound. This idea of deep appreciation, a radical, and not radical in the 80s, like radical dude kind of a way, but like revolutionary appreciation of self and all it takes to move through every day, to be present, to show up for ourselves and those folks we care about, to do the things that are sometimes hard to do, and sometimes celebrating ourselves is one of those things that's hard to do. To recognize that we do so much, even in the little things we do every day. Oh, excellent. Shelley's saying, busy, but we'll post clay creation later. I can't wait. So again, after these live streams that we have, and that also counts for the live streams that are happening every Thursday night now as well, we host a little kind of show and tell post that allows people to upload pictures of what they've been working on or post links in case it's something a little different that you're doing. Maybe it's music, maybe it's something from your SoundCloud account, or writing, creative writing from a Tumblr account, or one of your websites. If you'd like to share what you've been working on, highlight it, spotlight it for the community, draw a little attention to all your awesomeness, you can post in the sort of after show, the show and tell post that we upload usually, I would say it's around 3:45 or 4 o'clock after these live streams and are archived. And Teresa is asking, how do you connect? How do you connect to what, Teresa? Can you let me know? And I will explain it as best I can. But, oh, lovely. Shelley's doing a Tweety Bird canvas clay picture. Love it. And that's true. Shelley does a lot of clay painting with plasticine. There must be another fancier name for it, but that's how I remember it. For folks who are interested in that, it's where you use plasticine almost like a modeling paste, like in painting. So you're sculpting something onto a flat surface, giving it detail, texture, effect, shape. So it's not just a flat painting that you'll hang on the wall. It becomes something that stands out, that really has a little bit of depth and visual excitement to it. And if Teresa, so I'm going to assume, Teresa, that one of the things you're asking about is perhaps the Zoom. So if folks are wondering how to connect to the Zooms that we do, essentially, as long as you have access to a laptop, and we realize that not everyone does. Not everyone has access to a laptop or Wi-Fi, which is the one major tool, or even I think you can access Zooms from your phone or tablets as well, so not entirely the case. But we realize not everyone has access to Wi-Fi, so there's still a lot of folks out there who we want to connect with that we're not able to right now, and we're working on that, I promise. Okay, so there's some folks, yeah, so Kathleen and Teresa wanted to connect to the wellness workshop on Zoom yesterday, but didn't know how. So if you've ever participated in a Zoom workshop or a Zoom experience before, you'll have a kind of a leg up on other folks who haven't. Because Zoom is a platform that allows you to enter into these virtual workshop rooms. You can actually look it up. If you like, just Google Zoom and learn what you need to be able to connect. Sometimes it might mean downloading the app onto your computer or your laptop. I don't think it's that case for everyone. As long as you have the link and the passcode, you should be able to join the group. So every time we are hosting a Zoom workshop or a Zoom activity, you'll be able to go, if you go into the Facebook event, an hour before the workshop, I will post the Zoom link, or one of the coordinators, the facilitators of the workshop, will post the Zoom link and the password. So you want to copy and paste the password and the account number, I think the account and the password that you need to join the group. But if you click on the link that's there, it will take you directly to Zoom, where you can copy and paste the password in there. And then you'll be taken to kind of a virtual waiting room. and the facilitator or workshop coordinator will see your invitation, see you're waiting, and invite you into the room. And then you'll be there on camera in the group with people, being able to talk and see one another and have a good time. If there were other difficulties that folks were experiencing, let me know what they are. But if hopefully that will be enough. I think one of the issues folks were having was just accessing the Zoom link and the password. They will always be entered into the event, the Facebook event. So there'll be the last post in the discussion before the workshop begins. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, so that's what you needed. You needed the password and the Zoom link. I hope that helps, Teresa. That's so exciting. I know Kat and Caitlin would love to see you in the groups, and Michelle as well. So always, when in doubt, go back to the event, the Facebook event, and check to see if the link has been posted there. And usually it is about an hour before. And we post it there for a lot of reasons, mainly because we don't want any surprise guests dropping in or people who are trying to, I think the term is Zoom bomb, which is an interesting thing. And I don't think anyone from our community would do that, but you never know. Just allows folks in the group to have a little more privacy and feel a little safer when they're sharing stuff. So when in doubt, check the Facebook event and the discussions where we can update and post stuff. I hope that helps. There's so many new ways of connecting. I think we will look back at this time and be amazed at how quickly we adapted to things. That's another thing to celebrate, I think. Look how far we've come and all the ways we connect and all the things we do. We're doing a lot more than we realize. Our brains are a lot busier than we realize. So I think, borrowing Barb's term again, remember to celebrate. Give yourself a pat on the back. And just acknowledge all the things that you're capable of, that you achieved. There's so much. It's amazing. And Nicole saying, yesterday I was talking to a high school student, and one of the projects they've been assigned to make is a vision board. Nicole, this is very timely indeed. Have you been reading my mind? We're hoping to have, if folks are interested, it looks like, it's not 100% yet, I need to confirm and arrange all the details, but Sophia Campbell-Johnston will be joining us, maybe in a Zoom workshop, or maybe in one of the Thursday night live stream art hangouts that we do, to host a vision board making art jam, for lack of a better term, sharing some of the techniques that she loves, guiding in that wonderful way that she does best. And some folks might remember her. We interviewed her as a live stream guest, I think in December, but she is also, she's a lot of things. She's a certified infertility and pregnancy loss life coach. She's a life coach. She's also trained in vision boards and vision board making. And she's hosted vision board workshops at the LivingRoom studio space a few times in the last couple of years. And we're thrilled that she's going to be coming back and doing a virtual vision board workshop with us as well. So a fantastic thing. And Danielle is saying, vision boards are so much fun. I always love a chance to make one, right? There's always room for vision in our lives, I think. And I had an interesting discussion the other day with someone about vision boards too, because I think one of the things people sometimes forget with vision boards is that it's not just about the end goal. We were talking about the importance of spending time envisioning the process of getting towards your goals as well. Such an important piece that sometimes we forget because we get so excited about the end goal. So important to envision what it feels like doing the things you'll need to do getting there, right? Has anyone ever made a vision board about that, about the journey towards the goals you want for yourself? And Don saying, I may not share often, but just sitting in helps me get through connecting is so important these days. Yeah, yeah, it is, isn't it? I think another thing to sort of pat yourself on the back for is just simply doing all the things you're doing, everyone out there, to connect and stay connected, to find those moments where you feel comfortable being seen, being heard. Because for a lot of us, and I count myself here, it's, sometimes the distancing, the isolation, or just if you're an introvert or someone who qualifies as an occasional introvert, it can be easy to hide away. It can be easy to not be seen and heard. Easy, but not necessarily healthy. So finding the moments that are manageable, the moments that help you feel good, where you can stand up, be seen, be heard, or at least listen, be a part of a community that you do feel connected to in some way. It makes such a difference. And I include, it's not just things like this. I don't know if anyone else out there has seen a kind of an increase in how you've, I was going to say consumed. That's such a strange word, consumed. But I don't know if anyone else out there is experiencing the same thing I am with regards to podcasts or, different kind of YouTube live streams or webinars. I don't like it. There's got to be a different term for webinar, but I've been using them too. I've been listening and watching and finding voices and people that kind of make me feel human, that help me feel good. Finding those other voices out there, and it's not always voices of people that I know in person. Just finding that presence, those communities out there, those people that you can turn to for support. They may not even know they're supporting you. That's okay. That's okay, right? The things that help you get through, the things that remind all of us we're not alone. The things that help. Oh, hello, Clay. Come back. The things that help us feel human, help us feel connected. Because we are connected. And I think too, there might be a day coming up where I decide to write some fan mail to people out there. Could be everyone who's here. Ah, hello, Lottie, welcome. I think, again, just on that note of, reminding folks who are out there how important they are, the role they're playing in your life, how they've made a difference. It really counts. Because not everyone knows. Not everyone will realize. Fan mail to community. I think that would be a cool workshop. And Lottie's saying, hello, long time no see. The process is way more important than the end goal, in your opinion anyways, Lottie. And I like that. Sure, I think so too. I agree with you. Even better if you track your progress along the way with vision boards, journals, etc. With my first module that I handed in for university, most of our marks were for the process than for the pieces. I like that. I like that, Professor. Yeah. I think we take for granted. It always feels great to realize what we want to do, right? And I think we need that. We need to have that vision in the distance that we want to move towards, that we want to achieve. But sometimes that feels so good, we forget that there's other things that will help get us there, that we need in place to get us there. And process, that's such a huge part of it. It doesn't have to be scary. But I think if we take that time to recognize, to give towards, okay, so what steps are necessary? And what things do I need to do? Also, how will it feel to do those things? I think having a sense, like a felt sense of what it will feel like to do the things that'll get you to your goal. I think not only does it help because it prepares you, it helps sort of get your brain and your body ready for all the things you'll need to do, and it gets you excited. It's not going to be a surprise. There'll always be little surprises, but you'll be able to prepare and have a sense of, what those first steps are to getting the thing done in the first place. And also, I think it's easy to get scared of doing anything at all sometimes, because I think, again, speaking from my own lived experience with this, if we never try it, we never fail, right? It's a scary thing to try something and not to achieve exactly what we wanted. But we always learn from that process. We always achieve something. And I'd like to think that no matter what we achieve, it's always worthwhile. But sometimes we can let that anxiety, that fear of what might happen or what might not happen in the way we want it to happen, that can get in the way, so we never even get to the trying part of it. And Shelley's saying, welcoming everybody, lovely, hoping everyone is well and staying safe. Lovely. Shelley, what a wonderful thing to remind folks of. Saying these are difficult times, so please check in on friends and family, just even to say you understand and care about them. Such a good thing, checking in with people that you love, that you care about. Maybe there's a friend or someone that you haven't spoken to in a long, long time. Why not reach out, say hello, let them know you're thinking about them. It doesn't have to be a big, huge thing, I think. Remember, we're all dealing with similar things when it comes to this weird pandemic thing. Can never hurt to reach out and let someone know that you're thinking about them. I think it always feels good to know that somebody's thinking about you. It's, again, one of those things that lets us know we're not alone. There's a lot of folks out there that I'm thinking about, and you know what? I should reach out and let them know. Maybe that's one thing, and it's like, speaking of rituals and the things we do to celebrate ourselves, celebrate those folks we care about, perhaps that's something I can add into my mix, is just, maybe even just once a week, celebrating someone in my life, someone who's made a difference in my life, reaching out and letting them know one way or another that they've made a difference, right? I was going to say every day, but that process part, I was like, every day, can I handle that? Chances are I probably could, but I think starting once a week, a little message to someone once a week, that seems a lot more manageable. So I'm going to start there. And if you want, you can join in. Reach out. Let someone know that you've been thinking about them. And Shelley says, yeah, absolutely. I agree, Shelley. Nowadays, it's easy texting, emails, phone calls, and written letters. Snail mail. Don't forget snail mail. If you love a good... I think that's something that feels so good, receiving something in the mail. I think that's a lovely thing. So if you have the capacity to do that, if you have a stamp lying around, maybe make a handmade postcard to send someone, an art card. Slap a stamp on it, send it out, let someone know you're thinking about them. Yeah. Shelley, I agree. So easy, and it only takes a few minutes. So again, for folks who are joining us right now, it's almost 3 o'clock during the live stream. I suppose now I should take a moment to also say hi to the folks who are listening and watching once the live stream has been completed. We appreciate you being here too. Thank you so much. You may not feel it, you may not realize it, but you also contribute to this wonderful creative energy. Thank you. Thank you for being here and watching. And taking time for yourself to create, to appreciate the wonderful creation that's going on all around you in community. That's a good thing. Thank you for being here. But if you're tuning in and you're watching just now, we're talking about self-abrading, celebrating, honoring those parts of ourselves that are worthy of honoring the people in our lives or the people in our community that mean something to us. And all the rituals, all the things we do to celebrate. So how have you been celebrating? How have you been making those memories for yourself during these strange times? What has helped you enjoy and make meaning of those experiences in your own day-to-day life? I think there are things like going for walks, taking time every day. We've heard from folks taking time every day to go for a walk, that gift of time to yourself, shaking up your scenery. Yeah. Getting your senses engaged with the outside world for just a little bit of time, giving yourself some perspective. Lovely. How have other people been honoring the moments in their lives that are worthy of honoring? Maybe there are special events like Shelley's birthday. Maybe there are wedding anniversaries like Barb. Maybe it's other things. Maybe it's like doing something that you've been meaning to do for a long time and you finally do it. Laundry. How do we celebrate Laundry Day? Maybe it's remembering, taking time to honor the people in our lives that we've lost, right? Making time for that presence in our lives. The people that we've loved and lost. The people we love that maybe aren't near us right now. How do we honor them? How do we honor ourselves? Inquiring minds want to know. And Nicole is saying, I find it interesting that so in the Greek language, they have terms for 7 different types of love. It's nice to look at the different kinds of love on Valentine's Day. Oh, Nicole, that's amazing. Nicole, you've just inspired me. So Marta, Danielle, if you're out there, students, I call you to attention. If you can find that, if there's perhaps a link, Nicole, do you think there's a link to that we can share? Such a good thing to remind ourselves of, especially in the lead up to that day. Love is such a big term. It's very similar, I think, to friendship. We tend to think of it in these binary ways. In love, not in love. Friendship or not friend or not friend. I think there's a spectrum in between. There are so many different ways that we can be present in one another's lives. There's so many different ways of showing affection, but also feeling that affection. It's not a one or the other kind of situation. And I think each one of us, perhaps we have our own versions, our own ideas of what that means. And I think recognizing, as you're saying, that, the ancients have, that there are a lot of different kinds of relationships out there, not just the one we're being sold on for that day that's coming up. It's not just about boxes of chocolate, although chocolate is wonderful. I plan on, let's be honest, I have chocolate every day. I don't need a special day to have chocolate. But I think we can kind of talk back to that consumerist idea of what love means to us. There's so many different forms of love in the world. Oh, lovely. Danielle is on it. So Danielle, in the post, there are 7 different Greek words for love. Eros, romantic, passionate love. Philia, intimate, authentic friendship. Oh, love it. Ludos, playful, flirtatious love. Storge. I've never heard that one before. Unconditional, familial love. And if there are any Greek people out there who know how to pronounce this, please correct me, because I know I'm not gonna do it justice. Philautia, self-love. Pragma, committed companionate love. And agape, empathetic, universal love. Oh, that's good to be reminded of agape. That's very good to be reminded of agape. Empathetic, universal love. And I think that is something that perhaps all of us, there's a sense of that in the world. And perhaps that has to do with community, that sense of appreciation, a deep appreciation, recognizing that we're all interconnected, and that feeling that wholeness that we hope to come from love has to start with not only ourselves, but recognizing that we are connected to everything and everyone that's out there. Thank you, Danielle. Excellent. Look at that, huh? Excellent. I love that. And that'll feed in perhaps to Michelle's workshop tonight as well. What a great conversation that could be had at that craft and chat group about what love is and how we can make meaning of the different kinds of relationships we have in our life, especially during these interesting times. Yeah, that's huge. And if I'm not, and Michelle, if you're still on the live stream and listening, it'd be interesting to know if you want to share a little bit about what you're going to be working on in the workshop. That would be great. I think I sense that there might be some reclaimed Valentines happening, some Valentine's cards redefined. That would be a lovely thing. Now, let's get this out again. I'm going to get my old awl out to make some holes in these. If I had a straw, which I should have prepared before the live stream, I'd probably use that to make holes in here. But I want to make a hole in each of these that's just big enough for a cord to go through, some twine to go through. So when they dry, I can thread them up. Love that, Nicole. Thank you. And Lottie has been, I love it. Lottie says, I've been self-vibrating by taking things easy, one day at a time, after a rough couple of weeks. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Lottie. I've also been celebrating getting a B, woo, on your first module at university. Congratulations. Congratulations to all the students out there right now. I know this, including my own, that are on placement with me here. This is like kind of a crunch time for a lot of students. It looks like a lot of students all over the world. Ah, Mia. Oh, so nice to see you, Mia. Mia saying these would also make really cute earrings. Oh, you know what? I never thought about that before. It's interesting. I'll see what they're like when they dry, and see if the clay is how heavy it is. Doing something like this for earrings, you know what would make a great material? Like a paper clay, something that's light enough, but you can still have substance and a kind of chunkiness to it. And with paper clay, there's one thing I love with the paper clay is also playing with adding colors and inks and different things into the mix of paper clay, even beads, things like that, glitter, having some fun that way. Love it. Thank you. And Nicole just keeping us up to date about one of the wonderful things. April 15th is National Laundry Day. So, you know what? Maybe come that week during the live stream, maybe I'll do some laundry art. We'll figure that out. Don't know what that looks like right now, but we'll figure it out. We'll get creative. And Danielle, thank you. That does, correcting my pronunciation on that Greek term. Philotia. Yeah, that's much better than how I was saying it. Thank you. And even that, to all people, all Greek people, people of great descent. I am sorry. I apologize. I know Kat V might have a thing or two to say about that. But there are so many different, like love, so much bigger than we realize, so much more vast, so much more profound. Complicated perhaps at times, yeah. But it's so much more profound and interesting, I think, than what we're sold on Valentine's Day. But again, loving that. How to self-vibrate. What are folks doing to self-vibrate? Oh, that's a great idea, Shelley, in response to the laundry art. April 15th, make paper clothes. We could do paper clothes, but we could also do paper dolls. Let me find something in there. I think there's something in there, Shelley. You sparked something once again. And Mia's saying tie-dye. You know what? We've got some... I was in the storage space just the other day. We were unloading a new donation that we received, a fabulous fabric donation. Look for some workshop kits involving textiles coming your way once we have that mobile studio up and running, folks. And we do have some tie-dye kits there. But we could also do, I know there's different forms of tie-dye. There's Kool-Aid tie-dye. There's all sorts of interesting ways to play with that. And actually, I could do something. I saw this interesting technique with ice cubes and dye. I can't remember what it's called, so if anyone out there knows, let me know. But the dye, you put the fabric, you kind of crunch up the fabric and put the ice cubes all around it and in it, and then the dye on top of the ice cubes. And as the ice cubes melt, they distribute the color, the pigments into the fabric in really interesting ways. So if anyone out there has ever tried that before, let me know, because I'm fascinated. Again, I don't know if we could, would it be exciting to watch ice melt for an hour and a half during a live stream? Maybe not. Maybe not. Ice dye, yeah, Elliot. So Elliot's heard of it before. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of allowing the color to do what it wants to do. Kind of like making room for happy accidents again. Okay. And then Nicole says, if anyone is interested at the at the weird days, my calendar, the weird days that Nicole is sharing with everyone, the calendar was it's from Dollarama and is called A Holiday Every Day. So a holiday every day calendar. So that's good. So they can be found, affordably found, if folks are interested in having their own. Thanks for that, Nicole. And Mia saying, yes, if ice cubes and salt. You're right, and salt makes really cool designs and textures. So something to play with. We'll see if there are ways of integrating that into the future. Maybe you'll just tune in one day and I'll already have everything in motion. And similar to today, I'll share recipes for dye and things like that if we're improvising and creating a different kind of tie-dye out of materials we can find at home or close to home anyways. Is anyone out there using or trying out the baking soda clay recipe that I shared on Facebook? Let me know if you are. Let me know how that worked out for you. It has a similar look and consistency to this clay, actually, the air dye clay. And it is a little lighter. But sometimes getting the right texture that feels good to you can take it's a little bit fussy sometimes. Danielle's right. You can also do that type of dye with snow. Has anyone done any snow art yet this year? Talking about making memories, there are lots of interesting ways. I mean, going on walks, but also making art outdoors. It kind of becomes a public art piece at the end of it, unless you take it home. But snow art is one of those things. And I know there are some folks out there who've made some snowmen, some snow forts, stomping some shapes and words into the snow, some messages for the community. I know you're out there. Such a fun thing to do. And for folks who are in other countries and maybe you don't have snow, Lottie, I'm not sure. Do you have snow over there in the UK right now? The amount of snow we sometimes have here, and to be fair, there hasn't been a lot this year in Ontario, at least in southern Ontario. But that becomes a large part of everyone's childhoods, I think. Creating with the snow. What can you do? In our first year being open at the studio, I remember there's some young folks there. And I tasked them with turning the giant heap of snow we had outside of the studio into a snow couch, a snow sofa. Because we would run out of space to shovel and pile the snow in front of the studio. And we would normally have a bench out in front of the studio. So they were lovely and they took it on board. And at the end of the day, by the time we closed, we had a beautiful snow sofa out in front of the studio. It was great. And people could actually sit in it. It was fantastic. And Teresa says, excellent. You're going to try the baking soda clay recipe later today. So good. Let me know how it works out for you. I think it was Samantha Willette who actually shared that recipe with me and made these beautiful, beautiful little plates. It has a very ceramic feel to it when it's done. There we go. Thank you, Elliot. Amazing. Excellent. So, yes, so white, so the dough that Elliot's using. It's a DIY cold porcelain with glue and cornstarch. Sounds a little similar to what we're doing, but with a little more structure added in through the white glue. Excellent add-in. Love it. And the marbling, Teresa's asking, have I tried marbling technique on silk? I have not. I will add it to the things that I would like to do. It sounds like that would be a really interesting, because it's light enough that it would lay down. I'm imagining that it's similar to paper marbling, where you would lay the silk down on top of the water with the inks or the oils on the pigment on top of the water, and then peel it up, and then you have the beautiful marbling effect. Sounds like there's so many things to do out there in the world, so many things to create. There's not enough time to make all the things I want to make, folks. We're just going to have to do our best to get through it. And Nicole, excellent Nicole. What was built outside the studio wasn't a sofa, it was a snowfa. Applaud. Excellent. That's excellent, Nicole. Excellent. Sophia, happy Wednesday, Sophia says. Sophia, we were talking about you just in a few minutes ago, about the vision board workshop that we hope you'll be hosting for us coming up soon. Welcome to the stream, Sophia. Thank you for being here and joining us. We're talking about the importance of visualizing, and not only the importance of visualizing the end goal of what we want or need or want to achieve or manifest, but the importance of visualizing how we get there as well, the things we can do. Process, and Lottie was saying the process is so, so important. And I think it can be really helpful and healthy to get excited about the process as well. When we get excited about the process, it's easier to achieve the goal. And we can imagine getting there. We can imagine what it feels like to get there, which I think is a large part of visualization and successful visualization. And Austin's saying, oh, excellent. Austin tried to make a snow person at Ash Park, but the snow was not packing snow. Oh, that's the worst. When it's just kind of that light powdery snow. I hear you, Austin. So it can be disappointing snow. I mean, all snow is wonderful, I suppose, but when you want to make a snow person, yeah, disappointing. But don't worry, I have a feeling, I think we'll be getting more snow here in Canada. I don't think we're going to get off this easy. So look forward to more snow art, more snow people, more snow fuzz coming your way. And if you do happen to make a snow person or a snowfa, feel free to take a picture of it and share it with us. I'd love to see what folks are creating. Or if you do the snow art with paint, I think definitely recommend using an eco-friendly paint, a water-based paint on the snow. Something maybe like a tempera or a gouache, something that would, children would be safe for kids to use, safe for animals. And see what happens if you paint on the snow. See what happens when you combine those things. It's kind of exciting. And excellent, Sophia's looking forward to joining next week. Yes, so we're looking at Thursday the 18th, folks. Thursday the 18th for Vision Board Night, 7 p.m. live stream on our Facebook page. And if the live stream doesn't work out, look out. We'll do a Zoom. We'll figure it out. It will happen. It will be awesome. And Sophia asking, what am I making today? I missed the first part of the chat. Oh yeah, so for folks who are tuning in just now and wondering, what the heck am I doing? Today is Clay Day in honor of Shelley's birthday and one of Shelley's favorite mediums. So I was hoping to make a whole lot more, but I just kind of got into making these little shapes. I am making pendants, clay pendants that will be essential oil, like pendant infusers. So I started with some air dry Sculpey clay, but there are so many other forms of clay that you can make and use out there. And just making simple shapes, putting the holes in them so when they dry, I can slip and fit a cord through those easily. Once they're dry, I'll be adding in, that's when I can apply the essential oils. Now, some people add the oils in while the clay is still wet and moldable. However, I am concerned about the oils affecting the way the clay dries. So for me, it's easy to wait and add them on after if I want. Or perhaps give them as gifts to folks so they can add in their own essential oils. Another lovely thing to send through snail mail, not too heavy, little pendant that you can share with people. Let them know you're thinking of them, that you appreciate them, a little gift in the mail. Had a lovely thing. And let's see. Oh, my hands are all messy, so I can't. Elliot's asking, oh no, Elliot's saying, I'm making koi fish. Elliot, I want to see pictures. Can you share a picture of those koi fish in the show and tell post we do after? I would love, love, love to see that. And in fact, I'm going to try right now. Let's try seeing what I can do adding pattern into these. Let's see. I'm going to add some pattern. Now, this is kind of thing that I could have done before I cut them out, because now pressing into the clay might impact the shape a little bit. But let's see what I can do here. Just stamping in, also writing in, so I can use this all here to write in words. So let's do that. Now once these are dry as well, and I think this works with any kind of clay you use, homemade clay as well, you can also sand these pieces just to smooth out any edges that you don't like showing up. And I think this one will say breathe. Let's see if I can have it all fit. Oh, and Mary, remember to breathe while you're doing this. Does anyone else sometimes find themselves holding their breath when they're working on things? I'm trying to be much more aware of that habit. It's not a good one. There we go. Breathe. It might be hard to see on the camera. Come on, lift up there. Let's see what we got here. And Nicole's saying, yesterday I was really happy to find out that a series I watched years ago still has the books it was based on available as ebooks. Fantastic. Books, lovely, lovely, lovely books. Books are also something that are helping me get by. I think I've incorporated books and reading into my self-abrating. Just that lovely reward, making time, moving into things with intention. So giving myself a good chunk of time to read and to enjoy what I'm reading and just to love it. Oh, Danielle asking, what show, what series, Nicole? Good question. And Nicole, this might be something too you might be interested in. Any fans, any reading fans out there, any, people, folks who are fun, like love certain TV shows or video games, who just use that as a part of their self-care, that escape into these wonderful worlds that other creators make for us. Just a reminder that Danielle's activity is launching tomorrow morning on Facebook at 11 a.m. The Comfort Character Check. And Danielle, maybe you can explain too if you want. Type in, what is a comfort character? Because I imagine there are a lot of folks out there like me who who this was a new term for. If you're already familiar with comfort characters, you can add in too, chime in, share what some of your comfort characters are. Danielle will be hosting an activity every week where she's inviting community members to share what their comfort characters are from books, graphic novels, film, TV, video games. And every week, what makes it interesting for me anyways, is that every week there'll be a different theme. So there are so many, just like when we were talking about love and all the different kinds of love that exist in the world, there are so many different kinds of comfort that we receive from various characters. Hello, Carlos. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Carlos saying, oh, let's see. Carlos saying, hope you're well, staying safe and well. Mary, these pieces are looking beautiful. Why, thank you, Carlos. Had such a great talk with you, Carlos, this week on our Instagram artist chats. Folks, if you missed it and you want to watch it and listen to it, it's still there. You can go back and listen to it. And I'm also uploading new artist chats every single, well, not every single day, but every single week on our YouTube channel. So, for example, Sophia's chat that we had just prior at the end of 2020 is uploaded onto YouTube now. So, if you missed that Instagram artist chat and you want to learn a little bit about Sophia, you can go visit YouTube and catch up on that conversation there. And Carlos saying books and video games, comic books for the win as safe escapism. I'm you're a bit biased though. I think a little bit, but you know, I am as well. So I think it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. And I think I'm excited to learn about the different kinds of comfort that exist in people's lives and explore all the themes moving forward with Nicole. So again, every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. on Facebook, you can go. Danielle will share a theme for folks about the comfort character check and an example from her own world, that a character that comforts her along with that theme. And you know what I'm looking forward to as well? That through that activity, we'll probably build a really awesome list, like resource list of books and games and graphic novels and TV and films that we can watch. So it'll be like an interesting playlist, a community playlist of cool things. And Nicole's saying the series that she loved was a vampire show called Blood Ties. It was filmed and takes place in Toronto, which was refreshing. Nicole, I don't want to spoil anything about Danielle's book, but you really might. I think you're going to love the comfort character that Danielle is going to share tomorrow, Thursday morning at 11 a.m. There's some vibes there, some things that might be interesting, and you might discover a whole new book series to read. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but check in tomorrow at 11 a.m. on Facebook. And Carlos saying thanks. Oh yeah, the Instagram talk was so much fun. It was so much fun for me too. Oh, thanks for asking Carlos to be a part of it. Well, I think you're such a fascinating, awesome human and an excellent creator. That's one of the lovely things about those Instagram artist chats. There are so many folks I'm looking forward to talking with and connecting with out there in the community. And looks like Laura's might be rescheduled soon, folks. So the missing Instagram artist chat with Laura Brown will be happening again. Do not doubt it. It will be happening again. So keep an eye out for that as well. Oh, and Shelley's saying, great way to celebrate your birthday. Thanks to everyone. Well, thank you for also recommending working with clay today. I think this is just awesome. I'm glad we had a chance to do that. So Danielle following up with, all right, folks, are you ready? A comfort character is any character that you find comfort and security in, whether it be someone you would love to be friends with, learn from, or just admire for whatever reason. So I love that. It sounds like a comfort, like a character that gives something to us, that enriches our life in some way, that we kind of keep close to our hearts or in our minds as we move through different aspects of our life. I love that. And I'm really looking forward to sharing those characters with one another and what they mean to us, and learning about what other people are reading and watching and listening to and playing that could in turn be, maybe a new thing that I will love and learn from. Yeah, Danielle, I agree. Nicole, that show sounds up Danielle's alley as well. So it's going to be awesome. And also have to mention that this Friday, our other placement student, Maddie, will be launching, as an interesting thing in a similar vein as far as sharing media that you love. It's called, what is it called again? What is it called again? Oh no, it's escaped my brain. But it's about music. So it's about sharing the songs that move you in different ways. So every week, Maddie will be sharing a theme that's connected to a specific song that has had this impact and resonated with her, and invite you to share songs along the same themes that have resonated with you as well. And hopefully we'll have some really interesting conversations about all the different media we have been appreciating and leaning in or leaning onto during these times, and how we've benefited from them, what we learn from them, how they inspire us to make meaningful change or to take care of ourselves. Super exciting. And folks, just a heads up too. Oh my goodness. This live stream has gone by so quickly. So quickly. It's almost 3:30. And I've got so many more of these to decorate. I know I need to take my dog for a walk after this, but I think I'll return. And as these continue to air dry, I'm just going to continue punching in or stamping in different designs. And I know they're a little difficult to see right now, but when they dry, I will be able to add more color, and it will sink in to the spots that I've created those impressions in, those little pokey bits. Let's see if I can do a little close-up for everyone there so you can see what we're working on. So a little bit close, yeah. You can't see all the detail exactly, but you're having a slightly better idea of what we're working with. Yeah, and each one of these will become a scented, what are they called again? Essential oil pendant. So something that once it dries, you can add essential oils into, wear around your neck, and just, infuse your day with a scent that relaxes or energizes you. I love stuff like that. And Nicole's saying, I have to go, but I hope you all have a nice National Make a Friend. It's a National Make a Friend Day tomorrow. Wow. What a wonderful thing. Didn't realize. National Make a Friend Day. This is a good calendar. Maybe I should go see if I can find one for me. No, you know what? Nicole, you will be our connection. You can let us know all the days. All right, folks, it's been such a pleasure hanging out with you today and learning about some of the ways you honor and celebrate yourself and those folks you care about in your life. Happy birthday again to Shelley, and happy anything to anyone out there. If you need a little bit of happy to celebrate yourself or to help boost you in any way, take some from this community here. We've got a lot to share, and just know it's okay. It's okay to honor yourself. It's okay to recognize the good hard work you're doing to take care of yourself and get through each and every day during these strange, uncertain times. And it's okay to set time aside to make meaning of yourself and of these moments. Make some memories for yourself. Making memories can be as simple as reaching out to a friend and spending some time talking to them. It can be setting some time aside to make art and just enjoy every single moment of it. It can be baking yourself something special or having a movie night. It can be about dressing up. No one's necessarily going to see you, but who cares? Dress up. Get fancy. Do something for you that helps shake things up out of the ordinary, that makes something special for you wherever you might be in your life, whatever part of the day or night you might be experiencing. And yeah, let's make some memories. These are good memories for me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know what? Shelley just saying she appreciates, me? Well, I appreciate everyone so much. I appreciate everyone who contributes and comes out and visits and says hi. And everyone who's out there, like Dawn, making music, making their mark with their art. Holy moly, is that not something to celebrate and honor? That's extraordinary. How amazing are we? We keep creating, we keep moving forward, even when it's hard. We take time to sit still when we need to, but we're always looking forward. You're amazing. You're amazing. Keep on taking care of yourselves. Keep on making meaning of every single moment that you want to, recognizing that, this is where we are. We can accept it and enjoy it and just be present with all the goodness that is available for us to reach for. Oh, and Laura finished the shadow box. Now to dry and paint, and who knows? I can't wait to see it, Laura. I can't wait to see it. So just a reminder again, for those of you if you're watching, and today is still Wednesday, February the 10th, tonight at 7 p.m., Michelle Awan is hosting a wonderful artsy craft and chat Zoom that folks are welcome to join. If you'd like to participate and get the Zoom link and password, just visit our the Facebook event page for that. It's going to be a little Valentine's-y themed with making, maybe messages and positive Valentines for ourselves, reclaiming what this day means, what love means, what relationships mean, what friendship means for ourselves. So if you're interested in joining that, that's 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. tonight. Password and Zoom link will be uploaded at 6 p.m. for you to click on and link to on the discussion part of the event page, as every Zoom will be. And looking forward to seeing people on the activities on the Facebook page from our other students. And tomorrow night, Thursday night, we have Christine Weird hosting our Thursday night art jam, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Just tune in to hang out and watch another excellent live stream of someone other than me making and creating in the community. Chat, catch up, learn a few things, get inspired, listen, appreciate, whatever you need. That's tomorrow night at Thursday. There's so much going on. I can't remember everything. Isn't that awesome? There's just so much going on. And let's see. And lots of lovely thank yous coming in. Oh, thank you. And Carlos, oh, lovely. I like this too. So Carlos saying, I hope you all manage to find and or make time to be with you and celebrate the awesomeness of you in whatever safe way that may be. Have a safe and awesome week, folks. And thank you. Another thanks to me. Well, I take the thanks, but I too have a hard time accepting thanks. But I'm happy to be here, and I'm thankful that everyone shows up to join me. Really, so really, I thank you. And birthdays coming up for lots of folks. Marta, so much to celebrate. Thank you, Barb, for that term. Now, time to sit and listen to an album, Laura says. Wow, 3 nights in a row now. Music is love. I agree. Music is love. Music is life. Music is everything. Lovely celebration times. Listening to music, making music, appreciating all the arts that are out there. Wow. Thanks so much, folks. You've inspired me. There's so much I could be doing and creating. It's going to be a lovely night. So thanks again for joining us. Thank you so much for everyone that is here in the live stream. Thank you to all the folks who watch after it's been archived. You count too, and we're glad that you're out there. Stay safe, stay warm, stay connected, keep creating. And I look forward to, checking in again with everyone soon at the next virtual Art Hive event. And until we can connect and create with one another again in person, I really look forward to connecting and creating with you right here online. Thanks so much, everyone, for spending time with me. Have a good day. Bye now.